Hi, I'm Zariah. I've always been the type to believe in fairy tales. You know, the whole happy ever after thing. That was until last Tuesday when my entire world came crashing down around me. I'd been dating Marcus for 2 years, and everything seemed perfect. He was handsome, successful, and came from money. Old money. The kind that makes people act like they own the world. We were 3 months away from our wedding, and I was over the moon excited about becoming Mrs. Hampton. Girl, have you picked your dress yet? My best friend Tasha had asked me that morning over coffee. I'm torn between the Vera Wang and the custom one. Marcus says to get both if I want. Must be nice having a fiancé who throws money around like that, Tasha laughed, stirring her latte. What Tasha didn't know, what I didn't know, was that the money Marcus was so generously spending was indirectly mine. My family owns a chain of tech companies across the Midwest, and while I'm not directly involved in the business, my connections are solid gold in the industry. I arrived at his parents' mansion 20 minutes early for our monthly dinner. The housekeeper let me in with a sympathetic smile. She'd always been nicer to me than Marcus's parents, Richard and Victoria. They're in the study, but they asked not to be disturbed, she whispered. I nodded and headed toward the kitchen, but voices from the half-open study door caught my attention. She's so naive, it's almost too easy, Marcus was saying, his voice carrying that smug tone I'd never heard before. Just make sure you get those contracts signed before the wedding. That was Richard, his voice cold and calculated. Her father's connections alone will triple our market share. And if she suspects anything? Victoria asked. Please, Mother. Zariah thinks we're soulmates. I've got her wrapped around my finger. She even signed those investment papers without reading them. Once we're married, her family's business connections are as good as ours. I froze, my heart pounding in my chest. The room started spinning, but I forced myself to stay quiet. Remember what happened with that last girl? What was her name? Emily? Richard chuckled. Make sure this one doesn't figure things out too soon. I backed away slowly, then rushed out the front door. In my car, hands shaking, I called Tasha. They're using me, I sobbed into the phone. Marcus is only marrying me for my family's business connections. They've been manipulating me financially, those investment papers I signed. Oh my God, Z. What are you going to do? Call off the wedding? I wiped my tears, feeling something cold and hard forming in the pit of my stomach. No, that's exactly what they'd expect. I'm going to make them pay for this. All of them. Nobody uses me and gets away with it. What are you thinking? Tasha asked, concern in her voice. I don't know yet, but I'm not walking away. Not until they lose everything, just like I almost did. I drove home in a daze, my mind racing with plans. By the time Marcus called, I had composed myself enough to play along. Hey, babe, where'd you go? Mom and Dad were expecting you for dinner. Oh, I'm so sorry. My sister had an emergency with her kids. I tried calling, but my phone died. The lie rolled off my tongue easier than I expected. No problem. We'll reschedule. Love you. Love you too, I said, nearly choking on the words. The next morning, I called my sister Jasmine. I need your help, and I need you to keep this quiet. What's going on? You sound terrible. Marcus is a fraud. He's only with me to get to Dad's business connections. That snake. I never trusted him. What do you need me to do? You still work in Dad's legal department, right? I need you to check if Marcus or Hampton Enterprises has made any moves toward our family's business. 2 days later, Jasmine showed up at my apartment with a stack of papers. You're not going to believe this. Remember that app idea you had last year? The one for connecting healthcare providers? Yeah, I mentioned it to Marcus once. He said it wasn't marketable. Well, look at this. Hampton Enterprises filed a patent application for essentially the same concept 3 weeks after you told him about it. I flipped through the documents, my blood boiling. This is word for word what I described to him. There's more. That investment opportunity he had you sign? You basically signed over your intellectual property rights to any ideas discussed with Hampton Enterprises. I sank into my couch. How did I not see this coming? Because you're trusting. And he's a professional con artist. Jasmine helped me dig deeper. We discovered that Marcus had been engaged twice before, both times to women with valuable business connections. Both relationships mysteriously ended when the women discovered incompatibilities. I needed more evidence, so I scheduled lunch with Devin, Marcus's business partner who I'd met only a few times. "Thanks for meeting me," I said, sliding into the booth at a cafe far from Marcus's usual haunts. "Of course, though I admit I was surprised by your call." "I'm working on a surprise for Marcus, a business thing. I was hoping you could give me some insight into your current projects." "Sure. What do you want to know?" As Devin talked, I realized he had no idea what Marcus and his family were up to. He was genuinely passionate about their work. "That healthcare app sounds amazing. Is that launching soon?" "Yes. Marcus brought the concept to us. It's brilliant, really, connecting patients directly with specialists without the middleman." My idea, word for word. "Where did he get the inspiration?" I asked, keeping my voice casual. "Not sure. You know Marcus, always networking, always finding opportunities." After lunch, I met Tasha and Jasmine at my place. "Devin has no clue," I said, pacing my living room. "But the Hampton family is using my ideas and presenting them as their own." "We need to document everything," Jasmine said. "I've already started a file." "And we need to find those other fiancés," Tasha added. "If they'll talk, that's more evidence." I pulled out my laptop. I found one on social media. Emily Wilson. She's a marketing executive now. "Perfect. Reach out to her." "What's the endgame here?" Jasmine asked. "What exactly do you want to happen to Marcus and his family?" I looked at both of them, my resolve hardening. "I want them exposed. I want their business to crumble. I want everyone to know exactly who they are." "Then we need a plan," Tasha said. "Something that catches them in their own trap." "I think I know just what to do," I replied, a smile spreading across my face for the first time in days. My meeting with Emily confirmed everything. She'd gone through almost the exact same experience with Marcus 3 years ago. He targeted my family's shipping business. When I caught on, they threatened to sue me for breaking the engagement contract. Did they follow through? No, they backed off when I threatened to go public. But they made me sign an NDA. "Which you're breaking right now," I pointed out. "Honey, that NDA was so poorly written it wouldn't hold up in traffic court. Richard may be rich, but he's sloppy." Armed with Emily's testimony, I crafted the perfect trap. I created a fake business proposal, a revolutionary healthcare payment system that would complement the app Marcus had stolen from me. I called Devin and asked to meet privately. This time, I brought receipts. "I've got something to show you, and it's not going to be easy to hear." Devin's face fell as I laid out the evidence. The stolen ideas, the manipulated contracts, statements from Emily and another ex-fiancé named Kira. "I had no idea. I swear, Zariah. I thought we were building something legitimate." "I believe you. That's why I'm coming to you first. I need your help." "What are you planning?" "Justice. And I need someone on the inside." The next phase was delicate. I mentioned my new business idea to Marcus casually over dinner. "It's something my dad's been developing. A payment processing system for healthcare providers that would integrate perfectly with your new app." His eyes lit up exactly as I'd hoped. "That sounds incredible. Would your father consider a partnership?" "Maybe. He's presenting it to the board next week. Very hush-hush right now." The bait was set. 3 days later, Marcus brought it up again. "Have you mentioned our app to your father? The synergy with his payment system could be huge." "Not yet. I wasn't sure if I should mix business with our relationship." "Don't be silly, babe. We're getting married. Our futures are aligned." The following weekend, I arranged for Marcus to come to my father's office under the pretense of meeting him for lunch. But I made sure we'd arrive when my father was hosting a board meeting, with Devin present as a potential investor. "Wow, I didn't realize your dad would be in a meeting," Marcus said as we walked past the conference room with glass walls. "We can wait in his office. The meeting shouldn't take long." Once inside, I activated the recording app on my phone and placed it casually on the desk. "Actually, this might be perfect timing. Why don't you tell me more about how you see our companies working together after we're married?" It's going to be amazing, Zariah. Once we're married, I'll have direct access to your father's business connections. The healthcare app is just the beginning. What about my ideas? Will you keep stealing those too? His face froze. What are you talking about? The healthcare app, that was my idea, word for word. Baby, I was inspired by your concept, but I developed it into something marketable. Save it, Marcus. I know everything. The investment papers, Emily, Kira, your parents' involvement. His expression darkened. You're being ridiculous. I love you. Why would I? Because that's what you do. You target women with valuable business connections, manipulate them, steal their ideas, and then discard them. He grabbed my wrist. Keep your voice down. You have no idea what you're talking about. I wrenched away. Don't I? Let's call your parents. See what they have to say. I put them on speakerphone, playing dumb and upset. Marcus says I'm misunderstanding something about those investment papers I signed. Richard's voice came through clearly. Has she been talking to lawyers? Remind her about the confidentiality clauses? Don't worry, Dad. I've got this under control, Marcus said, glaring at me. After hanging up, Marcus tried to backpedal, but the damage was done. I had everything I needed on recording. The engagement is off, I said calmly. You'll regret this, he threatened. Nobody walks away from me. Little did he know, walking away was the last thing on my mind. The annual Tech Innovation Gala couldn't have come at a better time. I secured a speaking slot right after Marcus's presentation on the healthcare app he'd stolen from me. Are you sure about this? Jasmine asked the night before. More sure than I've ever been about anything. I arrived at the gala in a power suit that meant business. The ballroom filled with tech executives, investors, and industry journalists. Devin caught my eye and gave me a subtle nod. Marcus presented his healthcare app to impressed applause. When he finished, the MC announced my turn to speak. Thank you. Before I begin, I'd like to address something we just heard. That healthcare app? That was actually my idea, stolen by Marcus Hampton. The room went silent. I have evidence that the Hampton family has been systematically targeting individuals with valuable business connections, manipulating them, and stealing their intellectual property. I played the recordings, Marcus admitting to using me, Richard discussing their strategy. I displayed the documents showing the timing of the patent applications. I'm not the first victim. Emily Wilson and Kira Torres experienced the same treatment. Both women stood up from their seats, confirming my story. Devin stepped forward. As a founding partner of Hampton Enterprises, I am severing all business ties with Marcus Hampton and his family, effective immediately. Several investors walked out as whispers spread through the room. Marcus rushed the stage. This is absurd. She's lying because I broke up with her. The evidence speaks for itself, I replied calmly. You'll never work in this industry again, Richard threatened. Actually, I've already filed the proper patents for my ideas and started my own venture with legitimate investors, including your former partner. Within weeks, Hampton Enterprises lost 70% of its value. 3 federal investigations opened into their business practices. Their social standing crumbled as quickly as their financial empire. 1 month later, Marcus showed up at my office, looking desperate. Please, Zariah, I'm sorry. I was wrong. I did love you in my way. Can we talk about rebuilding? There's nothing to discuss. You made your choices. I've lost everything. My company, my reputation, my family's standing. And I almost lost everything because of you. The difference is, I fought back. As he left, Tasha, Jasmine, and Devin arrived for our weekly meeting. Was that who I think it was? Tasha asked. Just someone I used to know. My new company was thriving, built on genuine innovation and integrity. Meanwhile, the Hamptons faced bankruptcy and potential criminal charges. Karma had done its work, with a little help from me. Was Zariah justified in completely destroying the Hamptons' business and reputation? Or did she take her revenge too far? Would you have handled it differently? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story of sweet revenge against toxic people, hit that like button and subscribe for more stories that'll have you cheering for justice. New videos every day.